Hey guys, thanks for stopping by to watch another video here at alliseeisW, where we talk about finance, stocks, and crypto. Today, I wanted to create this video to talk about the overall markets in the Bitcoin mining space, especially with the number of companies coming out with updates on their November production data. So we have Mara, Iron, and Bitfarms coming out with news release on where they are with their production data. So today we'll be diving deep into a Bitcoin mining company, Bitfarms, ticker BITF. Most of you are wondering, is now a time to sell? What's going on with their share price? Is now a time to buy? Should I continue holding? Dollar cost averaging down? We'll talk about the overall company updates today, and I'll give you my assessment on what my price target is and my reasons why I believe that there's going to be some bullish movements coming very soon, especially once Bitcoin breaks through the $100,000 barrier and starts bull running up, especially during this golden era of a Bitcoin bull run. One thing to keep in mind is that with Donald Trump, president of the United States, being the president in a couple of weeks, I think that's really going to be the stamp of approval driving factor to get these North American miners mining at a high throughput. And I think with Bitfarms, for example, we see that even with just information that's announced within 1 week, things can turn right away. The tide shifts very fast in this type of environment. And you look at Mara, for example, a couple weeks ago when there was the convertible note loan release, the day when that was released, the stock price dropped so much. A day later, it went all the way up. So market sentiment can change very fast in this environment. And I believe that with the current price that we see with the miners, especially with Bitfarms today dropping at about 5%, I think it's definitely undervalued. And just from a buy low, sell high opportunity, I definitely think that Bitfarm has that potential. But we'll talk more into the details. Let's take a look at the technicals here. So first off, to share with you overall just assessment on how the price has been performing. So back in 2022, we saw Bitfarms at the sub $1 range. And you see here 2023, it climbed up significantly, hovering close to about the dollar range. From a zoomed out view, while we do see this fluctuation here, early 2024, this hovered up close to about 387 here, and then we saw a big downward pullback here, and it was up until the rise in the Bitcoin price. We saw this hovering up to the mid $3 range, and there's just been a number of volatility events here that we see. But I think with the price of Bitcoin where it currently stands here after the 5% drop today, hovering at like $2, I think that now is definitely a great time to either dollar cost average down. Let's say if you're a holder of the Bitfarm and you believe there's going to be a huge Bitcoin bull run, I definitely think that what goes down will eventually start popping back up. And just with the prior months, Bitfarm performed quite well, and I think today there was a huge market reaction. We'll go into the details why, and it's understandable when we look at the details, especially with their recent announcement on the production data for November. But just from a technical standpoint, I think that the relative strength index, it's been oversold here. And especially in the stock market, when things are looking bad, that may not necessarily mean that it will continue to look bad. Of course, there's potential for it to look bad, but I definitely think that it's undervalued, especially when there's blood on Wall Street. And Bitfarms is a company that's in that environment where it's able to mine for Bitcoin and eventually tap into the HPC AI sector as a potential. So I definitely think from a value standpoint, Bitfarms is definitely undervalued with that potential to break through its prior resistance testing here at like 380, which was not too long ago here, just in the month of December alone. So I just wanted to share with you my ex post here just recently that Bitfarms announced their production of Bitcoin mining. They mined 204 Bitcoins in the month of November. Now, that is a reduction from their October data, where October they were able to mine 236 Bitcoin. Current hash rate as of today is 12.8 exahash. So kudos to Bitfarms for increasing their exahash compared to their prior month of 11.5 exahash. Now, there is difficulty present with mining Bitcoin numbers, as you can see the reduction here. But from a value standpoint, I definitely think that Bitfarms is undervalued. And I think that there's that 3 to 5x potential from here. You might call me crazy, but I definitely think that what goes down will eventually start going back up. Just in the month of December, so we have 4 weeks of trading here. I think that it can test its prior resistance because there's anticipation that Bitcoin is going to break through the $100,000 range. And I think that in this bullish era, we are at a minimum going to break through that $150,000 with Bitcoin. Can you imagine if Bitcoin gets to 120,000? There's no reason for Bitfarms to still be hovering at the basement low here. It will definitely test itself here at the close to the $4 range, if not higher than that. But that's just in the near term. Longer term, we've seen this test close to, hovering at the close to $10 range. It's just a matter of whether Bitcoin price is able to get back up, which I think that just with a matter of time here, we're going to break through that 100K psychological barrier. So that's what I see in Bitfarms from a technical standpoint. From a value standpoint, definitely undervalued. Yes, when you compare Bitfarms share price to like Mara or like another top reputable Bitcoin miner. Currently, it's at $2. And the hash rate here, I mean, this is like 20% close to Mara's hash rate. But overall, with the amount of Bitcoins mined, it's similar to what Mara announced today, especially given that their hash rate is like 4 times more than Bitfarms. Mara got up to about record numbers today at 900 Bitcoins mined. Their last month was like 700 Bitcoins mined. So different approach, but just from a value standpoint, Bitfarms isn't going away. They are one of the companies that will continue to improve on their exahash, even though the company was not able to deliver on their timelines. There's a bit of a pushback with their expectation to increase their exahash. Now that's being pushed out to 2025. So that's one thing we also have to factor in. But just from a technical standpoint, the fact that it's being oversold here, I definitely think there's going to be that bounce back potential here. Just to go through the details from Bitfarms today. So today, the company announced that they achieved a 12.8 exahash and earned 204 Bitcoins in the month of November. So this was a significant milestone achievement, and nearly 75% of Bitfarms' hash rate is expected to come from North American data centers by the first half of 2025. That really sets the theme for Bitfarms wanting to be branded as an American-based company, especially with Donald Trump supporting North American Bitcoin miners and the fact that Bitfarms is a North American Bitcoin miner, that's really going to add value to their business model here. In November, Bitfarms also upgraded nearly 19,000 T21 miners to S21 Pro miners with anticipated delivery in December and January. These newer, more efficient miners will help with improving their efficiencies to 19 joules here. That'll be a 10% improvement with their current efficiency heading into the first half of 2025. So even though Bitfarms was able to get up to their 12.8 exahash in November, a lot of what Bitfarms intends to do is replacing their current fleet T21 to S21 Pro miners. I think that's going to really help expand their mining capabilities. And one of the unique things is that with this announcement from today, they actually sold a number of Bitcoin here. So not necessarily having that HODL approach. They sold 171 Bitcoins in November. They sold 194 in October. I think a lot of this is to be able to pay off and advance their operations, pay off all the debt for setting up the Bitcoin mining capabilities, and at one point they'll be able to apply the HODL approach. But I think given the fact that they are trying to improve their business operations, it does make sense not to apply the HODL approach right now and accumulate debt, sell it at this price point, and just continue to mine, have that focus on building up their hash rate. And I think overall, Bitfarms will then mature as a company to set itself up for becoming an HPC AI potential data center mining company as well. So some operating highlights is that uh, overall 12.8 exahash operational at November 30th. And overall, I see that they have a 6.8 Bitcoins mined on the average here. So that's about 660,000 revenue uh, generated per day just based on the Bitcoin price of like 97,000. So overall, the monthly production data here. So of course, you have to factor in the April halving event here, which made it more difficult. You see here back in May, they mined 156. Good news is July, it jumped up to 200 zone here, and it's been consistently hovering in the 200 zone here. But when you think about the deployment of the S21 Pro miners that will be delivered in December, January, we're going to see lots of great improvements with Bitfarms, for example, and that's really going to help them increase their throughput with Bitcoin mining. So that's why I'm bullish with Bitfarms because I do think that yes, while today's news release showed that they didn't have a significant monthly increase in Bitcoin mining, if you look at it through the lens of value and the potential for this undervalued Bitcoin miner company to take off with its share price, I definitely think that with the rise in Bitcoin price, the fact that we're in a bull market, Bitfarms has that potential for a 3 to 5x gain potential as an investor. So again, if you do consider investing, always make sure to do your research, take my information as guidance. But I'd love to hear what your comments and questions are. And please make sure to hit the smash like and subscribe for more related content. Thank you.